Hello and welcome back to another episode of Slice and Dice Ecom by ClickSlice. I'm Julia, Operations Director, and I'm joined by Josh.
Founder of ClickSlice, as you probably already realized in the last few episodes. We should probably stop saying that now. Like, I think people know who we
Maybe,
are.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, we'll do that from now on.
cool.
We're not going to say who we are. If they want to know, they can leave a comment.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so for today's topic, it's a really interesting one, and I have a lot of questions for you, so prepare.
Great.
It's about the importance of SEO in e-commerce and why it matters most now, more than ever. And I think it's with the rise of AI and everything, it's a topic that a lot of our listeners will be interested to tune in.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's kick it off with the first question I have for you is why is SEO crucial for e-commerce?
So SEO is crucial for ecom brands. Number one, because we all know that paid ads, the cost per click is getting higher and higher and higher, which means your CAC is going up and up and up and almost becoming unaffordable to attain a sale, which is not a great position to be in. We also know that ads are becoming less effective in terms of who you're targeting because right now, when all these apps are tracking you, they're not tracking you as effectively as they were, say, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, right? So ads are definitely not, I wouldn't say on the decline, but they are becoming less and less effective. And the way we combat that is with organic search. And the reason why we're so big on organic search is because there's one thing in particular that consists of two words that means it is so powerful, and that is search intent. So organic search is essentially getting your website in front of people who are looking for the products that you sell, right? So if you sell, let's use an example of, I don't know, lampshade, right? You have a D2C brand on Shopify selling these amazing lampshades. Guess what? You can get your website in front of people who are searching for a lampshade, or is that even a lampshade? I don't know what they should call that. A
Yeah.
lamp light. I mean, clearly I'm not like, clued up on home stuff. I should be after moving house recently, actually. But my fiance handles all that stuff. But essentially, like, you can put your website in front of people that are looking for the products you sell. Like, that is insane. Like, and if you don't do that, like, do you like money? Are you trying to grow your brand?
I think that's actually the only argument, and it should be sufficient for you to take this into consideration. And I also know from Matt and from you that you get this asked a lot on discovery calls, like why shouldn't we invest in, I don't know, social media or another marketing strategy? It's because here they're begging for it. Basically, they are begging for it.
Right, yeah. Again, like, I'm not slating any other channel. I'm not slating
No,
paid ads. I'm not slating social media. Every channel has its kind of
yeah,
position and function in the overall marketing strategy of a company. But like, life is too short to be grinding on social media all day trying to get someone to buy your lamps. Like, just sell your lamp to someone that's really looking for your lamp, right?
yeah,
And
exactly.
conversion is a lot higher as well. So again, I think that's an obvious reason why SEO is crucial for ecom brands, and trust and credibility as well. Like, I think it really helps if you Google a brand and the site ranks number one for the brand name, and you see how many reviews they've got, and they've got lots of pages, and all the pages they're ranking. And again, it's just more trust and credibility. And I'm not saying paid ads don't perform as well as SEO; they both have their places. But as you know, when you see the word ad or sponsored, you know that person's paid to be there. So organically, you're kind of doubting in the back of your head, are they actually legitimate? Are they good at selling these lamps and products, or are they
Yeah,
just paid to be
exactly.
there? So, and I won't even touch on ad blockers because that's a whole other issue in its own right. But like, again, SEO is becoming more and more important for sure, and I see it becoming
Agree.
more effective even with AI coming out as well. Actually, as well.
Speaking of that, you've been in the industry longer than I have for sure. So, how has the role of SEO evolved in the past years?
Are you saying I'm old? Like,
You're older than me, so
I've never felt so old in my life.
that's good.
I'm
That's
young old, right? Like I was like, SEO's changed a lot. Like, when I first got into the industry, right? I don't know what year that was, 2014, maybe 2013 as well, towards the end of 2013. Anyway, like, back then you could just like keyword stuff your page. So
yeah,
you want to rank for blue denim jeans, you just put blue denim jeans 1,000 times on your website, right? And just put it, the text in white, make your background white, all this weird dodgy stuff that just used to work you can get away with, but now you can't do that. Like everything in life, like we said, it's always quality over quantity, but you want to be taking more of an holistic approach now. So it's not just keyword stuff, and you need to be having great technical SEO, fast site speed, you need to be having great content, you need to be having clear CTAs, a great website bounce rate, you need to have high quality. Like, there's so many things you need to be doing now, where back in the day you could just do one part of SEO really well, but now it's completely a different ball game, which is why you want to be paying attention to agencies' case studies and make sure they're from recent years and not from
yeah.
2013 and getting misled.
So, what about algorithm updates? Some of our listeners might have heard of, back in the day, hummingbirds. So, what about those? And there's been so many in the past year.
Yeah, no, there's been more than I can count. So as you know, like Google Penguin, Google Panda, all these famous updates that came out back in the day, and it typically just targeted one thing. Like maybe Panda was just targeting link building. So if you got hit by a Panda update, then you know there's an issue with your link building side of your website. Nothing to do with content, just to do with link building, right? When Google are releasing the core algorithm updates, they're not just targeting one thing. They're targeting like 5 to 10 different things. So trying to pinpoint exactly what they're doing and why your site tanked is very, very difficult and pretty much impossible, I would say, no matter how many test sites you have. So what we find to be more effective is instead of looking for a telescope on one like singular thing, what did they target? Take an holistic approach. You need to have great content. You need to have great technical SEO. You need to have great link building. Like everything should be top tier, and that way you won't really get affected by these core algorithm updates.
So what are the most common mistakes that ecom brands do, and what can they change to make sure they don't get hit and that their SEO strategy is on point?
Yeah, the simple answer, which I know people are going to hate and they want something more complex, is just to focus on quality.
Yeah.
And it goes over every single bucket of SEO. So when we see ecom brands that have a decent understanding of SEO, such as adding content on the collection pages, right? Because it helps increase the relevancy of the page, makes it clearer to Google what the page is about, and you rank higher, right? Kind of basic stuff in e-commerce SEO. But when you see a brand add the content above the fold and then the products are below, they're
Yeah.
completely missing the whole purpose. Someone searched for, I don't know, men's black t-shirts and they're reading almost a blog and then the t-shirts are below. It doesn't make sense. Conversions are not going to be high, right? So I think don't lose sight of the main goal of what you're trying to do. Yes, you're trying to rank, but you're trying to generate sales. So prioritize the products, then the content below. Another issue is I hear too many people saying technical SEO doesn't really matter. It's not that effective. And
Oh.
we just need to publish blogs and build links. Yes, that is true. Still very, very true. However, site speed is
Yeah,
crucial. Like,
it's massive. And we've just had one of our clients, we've had a call recently. We've optimized their site speed at the beginning of the campaign, and it was massive. It was a game changer. But obviously, we rerun the site audit. We checked this periodically, and now we had to redo it again. And again, it was a game changer. So it's a massive thing that a lot of clients and a lot of ecom brands overlook.
yeah, and Google have that embedded into the algorithm as well. Like, you want your site loading as a minimum under 3 seconds. Anything above that has a negative effect on your rankings as well. So, yeah, another issue I see brands making actually is more tied down to like ecom stores that have actual like physical stores across the country
Yeah.
is they actually neglect local SEO. Like, yes, you have your ecom brand and it's national across the whole country you service, right? But like, if you have dedicated stores in areas in your country, then you should be having a dedicated page with a dedicated Google business profile listing.
Yeah.
And you should be building citations to rank in your local map pack, right? If you don't do that, you're literally missing out on the local SEO. And most brands see national SEO completely different to local SEO. But if you're an ecom brand with the physical stores, the two should actually be synonymous.
Yeah, I think it's just about educating ecom brands that users search in so many ways, and most of the time they will tie their keywords to a location if it makes sense. So, for example, myself, I'm into film photography, so I
Are you?
do some
Didn't
yeah.
even know that. So I'm learning something too on the podcast, guys.
Yeah, and sometimes I do search for, let's say, film uh film roll, I don't know, London, or film
Yeah.
roll Essex, because I want to go in there and buy it myself, or I just want to check out who's in around the area. So I do that too. So if I do it, I'm sure I'm not the only one.
No, definitely. And I'll say the last point to add on the most common mistakes ecom brands are making as well is treating SEO like a one-off thing.
Yeah, yeah,
SEO is very impactful. It has the capacity to transform a business overnight, but it's not just a one-off thing you do, right? We just, yeah, let's do a site audit, let's publish a blog and build a link, and then like that's it, we're done. Like, it's an ongoing process because you're trying to convince Google your site is relevant about the topic products you sell, of course. Then even when you convince Google, you don't just sit back and then go, to Ibiza and sip on pina coladas. You need to maintain that visibility, right?
yeah.
So there's still a lot of work you do. And I think, again, too many brands probably don't understand that, which is no fault of their own, right? Because it can be quite complex even for us at the agency. So having that understanding that is a long-term investment, and it's not a slow process. There's things that are a lot slower in terms of marketing. So always look at the ROI to determine whether you should be doing what you're about to do.
And also look at your competitors, and I'll guarantee you they keep doing it month over month, and they won't stop, because that's why they're there. So it's
Yeah,
that easy.
no.
Looking at other more recent changes, we've got so many AI tools and changes even for Google. So what's your take on it? How does this affect SEO? And do you think SEO is dead or?
Yeah. SEO definitely is not dead. SEO is doing what it's always done. It's evolving. It's
Yeah.
adapting, right? And if you are an SEO specialist, you should be used to adapting, right? Like that is the whole part of your job. You adapt to an update, you tweak your strategy, and you get better results. Like if you don't want to adapt, then you're in the wrong industry. Like, and yes, there's a lot happening in Google search with AI, or the AI overviews, and AI answering the question. So Google's stealing your traffic, and SEO's dead and it's dying. Like, I mean, people said the same thing when the featured snippets came out. Like, oh my gosh, Google will now give you the answer from your website, so you don't have to navigate to your website. People love featured snippets. Like, it's not killed websites. The same with voice search. Oh no, voice search is going to kill SEO. People search with their voice. Guess what? SEO evolved. Like, and it's going to keep on evolving. And what we've actually found as well from looking at the test results we have is, and all the data online as well, which is very easily accessible, is this AI snippet typically only comes up on more informational queries. So if you sell, say, electric bikes, is another example. If you search for maybe the pros and cons of electric bikes, yes, the AI snippet may answer that for you and steal your traffic. But when people are looking to make a purchase transactional decision, like the best types of electric bikes, yes, the AI can still give you an overview snippet. But as a user, you don't just want to be given something
Yeah.
and just assume it's the best. Like, our psychologists, humans, is we like to do our own research and feel like, oh no, I made this decision, whether it's an ego thing or not. Like that's what we like to do, right?
Exactly. That's what I wanted to touch on, that users and I myself enjoy the research process, and it makes me feel in control of my purchasing decisions. I would never base it, even informational queries. I like browsing through different websites and seeing different takes, whereas with AI, it's just one take, that's it. So it's not that satisfying to
Yeah.
say so.
And I think the higher value or your higher average order value, the more likely people are going to do more
Oh, yeah,
research. So if you're
definitely.
selling electric bikes for £1,000, I don't care what Google AI says is the best electric bike. Best believe I'm getting out my pen and my notepad and I'm doing research and I'm going to figure it out for myself. So if I'm not happy with my purchase, I can't go and sue Google or blame them. Like I made a decision myself.
Yeah, exactly. Spot on. Yeah.
So moving the podcast in a slightly different direction now, right? Because this is a dilemma that a lot of brands face. Like, should I do SEO in-house? Do I outsource it to an agency? Do I go with a freelancer? What is your views on what the right answer is?
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I think it depends also on what you can do as a brand owner. So for SEO, imagine we at ClickSlice have a team of 15 people. So, and they've been working in the industry for more than 8 years. If you can afford to have a team, a department this big that has a content team, link building team, SEO specialist, myself that manages all the campaigns, then I would say for sure you can do it in house. However, is it cost effective? Imagine you can pay an agency, let's say with £3,000, whereas that's just a 1 month salary for one person, and the agency has 15 people. So it really depends on what you can do. But overall, I think it's more efficient and cost effective to just outsource it. And a lot of agencies can blend in with your team. So, for example, us, we're very transparent on what we do. We have multiple touch points with clients, as you know. We have monthly calls, monthly emails. And if a client wants to get on a call at one point and just discuss something, for sure, no worries. I mean, it's not set in stone. So it's just actually making sure you're selecting the right agency and that you can collaborate more than just give it to them. It's a collaboration and they can feel as part of the team if it's the right one.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think if you have a team in-house doing your SEO, great place and great situation to find yourself in. But you also need someone to kind of like quality control and check the work they're doing. Like,
Yeah.
yes, they publish that blog. Yes, that link's great. But how do you know that? Like, just taking their word for it? Are they experienced? If they're experienced, it's going to cost you a lot of money. Again,
Yeah.
it's going to pretty much match the retainer of an agency, a minimum, I would say for sure. And I think the other part to look at as well is you need to play to your strengths when you're running a business. So the reason why we stick to marketing ecom brands and not running our own ecom brand is pretty much because that's a whole nother set of skills. Like
Yeah, exactly.
fulfillment, customer service, like that's a whole nother side of the business that we're not familiar with. We're really good at what we do, so we stay in our lane. And I say the same advice back to ecom brand owners. If you're great at scaling the ecom brand, fulfillment, warehouses, customer service, SOPs, all of that stuff, stick to that. Like,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
don't try and reinvent the wheel figuring out how to do SEO, how to run Google Ads, how to do paid search. You're wasting your time. Like, there's not enough hours in a day to learn everything and be proficient in it. And then report, and then track, and then send some algo updates. There's a lot involved, and I think a lot of brands definitely underestimate, what is actually involved in all parts of marketing.
Yeah, because I think it does look a bit easier from the outside, but when you look into it, yeah, there's so many parts you need to take into account and so many teams. And even as you just mentioned, algorithm updates, you need your team spot on all the time just to make sure that they're on top of everything and then they can react to that. So it's a massive job to do it in-house. So that's why I
Awesome,
would recommend outsourcing it.
awesome. So yeah, I think that brings us to the end of this one. If you have any
Yeah.
more questions for me, I think.
No, not now. Probably next time. I'm trying to put together, I don't know, a podcast maybe with 20 questions to hear you speaking a lot.
Yeah, I think I do enough
Are you up for
speaking.
that?
Yeah, you lot are probably sick of my voice already, right? Like, so
Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna get someone else then.
yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good. Like, cool. Well, as always, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next one,
See you in the next
where I
one.
think we're going to be discussing one of my favorite topics that I speak to a lot of prospects about on a
Yeah.
daily basis. So I
I
won't
think
say what it is. Tune in for the next one, and you'll see.
yeah, see you in the next one. It's very I think it relates to you. I mean, you can relate to it because you've been there in a way.
Yeah,
So
so like, if
yeah.
you followed my journey and know how I got into SEO, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If you haven't, you should read the journey. It's actually really cool. And again, that sounds so biased, like saying that.
But it is, yeah, it
But
is.
no, I have a pretty cool story that I'm very grateful and happy for. But anyway, look, it's not about me. Subscribe, like, comment, share with your nan, your friend, your gran, everyone. Nan, gran, same thing, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
same
so.
thing. Right, cool. Anyway, see you in the next one.
See you guys.
All right.